The Crucible is the 6th episode of the first season of Frasier. This was directed by the fabulous James Burrows, and it aired in October 1993. And there's something about this episode that sticks with me quite well, and I think the reason is because it's got kind of a very straightforward narrative, and there's not too much going on outside of this narrative. There are not too many subplots, but that doesn't mean that it's dull or that the pacing's bad or anything. It actually works very well. And Frasier is talking about a Martha Paxton painting that he has on air, and Martha Paxton actually phones up, and he invites her over to his house for a soiree that he is apparently having, and he very quickly cobbles together this party, and Martha Paxton comes over. She's a very fascinating character. I think she's very kind of brilliantly portrayed. She's played by Rachel Rosenthal. And certainly I took to this character. I thought she was very interesting. Frasier feels the same way and is delighted to present in front of her his Martha Paxton painting. And it transpires pretty quickly that this is a fake. She did not paint this painting, and obviously Frasier is livid. And he does everything he can to try and get his money back, to get some justice, but things don't necessarily go to plan. I really enjoyed this one. It kind of made me think about how much that probably happens. Not just forgeries of paintings that are recognizable, but also people just painting something generic and putting somebody else's name on it. Now, there wasn't a direct suggestion that the art gallery he bought this from knew it was fake or that they had committed the fraud. Maybe they also believed it was a Martha Paxton at the time of sale. And I imagine it's kind of a whole tangled web. And Frasier learns, as I said, that maybe the justice system doesn't care that much about fine art forgery as much as they do more serious crimes, which is obviously understandable. Martin has a little bit of fun of this at Frasier's expense, which I kind of liked. There's also a heartfelt moment between Frasier and Niles, where they're recounting an incident that Niles had from his childhood involving a towel and a flagpole. And it's certainly very harrowing to hear. And I thought it was very interesting. It's very moving. It's not one of the most funny episodes, but I'd say it's one of the most unpredictable, I think. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. One of my favourite bits is, I guess these are spoilers for specific things that I found funny, but it's the moment where Martha Paxton reveals that it's a fake painting, and Martin leans over to Frasier and says, "And you thought I was going to embarrass you." Absolutely love it. And also the bit with the earring, where Daphne is getting a vision for where Maris's earring might have ended up, and then Eddie comes in. And I thought the timing there was fabulous. It was absolutely brilliant. Moose, of course, is a brilliant, Oscar-worthy actor. It's a shame they don't have, at least to my knowledge, awards for animal actors. They probably should if they don't. But I really, maybe that would encourage animal acting, and that isn't a good thing, so maybe not. But really thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely an interesting conversation starter about the justice system and how certain crimes, when they are, well, maybe not victimless, but certainly not violent or physical crimes, they're maybe not taken as seriously. But fraud is fraud. Is somebody selling you, if they had knowingly sold you a fraudulent painting, is that any different to them just taking money out of your bank account? Obviously, legally it is, but at the end of the day, they've taken money from you and not delivered the goods that you believed you were purchasing. It's definitely one that's very interesting. Very funny in parts, definitely really enjoyable. The Crucible is obviously a really good episode of Frasier.